What's up? How we doing? What's good? How are your days treating you so far? My day's been Luda. I have not, I'm like barely here. I've been so busy. I literally forgot to eat breakfast, so Pop-Tart it is. Not the most nutritious. We do what we gotta do. I don't even like breakfast, so why not have a nasty one, right? I'm so curious. We're trying a bunch of new things, folks. We're trying a bunch of new things. I got so much on the docket, as it were. That's all right. We're here. We're surviving. We're doing the best we can. We're going to come up with a top 10 list this morning. What I hadn't considered is I said that Jeopardy was going to start like dead at the time that stream starts to make it the most fair. But I hadn't considered what if no one is there? What if people haven't showed up yet? What are we going to do then? And I don't know the answer. So I guess today I get to set a precedent. And I don't know what that precedent is, but here we are. Figuring it out. I mean, maybe the like punishment should be just gets pushed to the next one. If nobody's here, it just goes to the next one. I don't do it for the late people. We'll see. This is like eating food looking in a mirror. The game plan today, folks, is to do the top 10 list for 2022. And then the rest of the time, we're just going to play Outer Wilds. And I really want to try to beat that game. I don't know if it's going to happen. I think we still have plenty in it. Let me see how many hours in I am. According to Backlogged, that's not right. Is that right? There's no way I'm only 4 hours into the game. Did I forget to log one? Uh-oh. I might have forgotten to log one, because there's no way we're only 4 hours into the game. No, we've only played it twice. Okay. So I'm only 4 hours in, and I'm pretty sure this game is like 20. So yeah, we got plenty of time left. No, it's 16. Yeah. So we still have plenty of journey left in us. We're going to keep on progressing in that. I beat my first game of 2022, or 2023, excuse me. My first game of 2023 last night. I was very excited about it. Feels good. Feels good. What's up, Camera Plus Deanna? The power of friendship. Well, look, y'all are here just in time. Y'all are here just in time. What's up, H-Man? How we doing? You guys want a Jeopardy question? Because the pool is small. The pool is small. You'll be able to pull from the Jeopardy question, and nobody will be competing. It'll just be the few of you that are here. And this is a double Jeopardy. This is a double Jeopardy. Was watching some MTG with Cam. Love it, dude. Yeah, I've seen that there's been like a decathlon this week over on Cameron plus Deanna. I think that's awesome. I have not played Magic in a cool minute, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted. No risk in our Jeopardy, purely reward. So rather than worrying about losing anything, because I just want people to feel free to just kind of shout answers into the void, you can only get points from this. You can't lose points from this. Only get them. So if you get it right, first person to get it right gets double Jeopardy. If you don't get it right, you just don't get it right. So we're not too stickler about this. Good early morning from New Zealand. Oh my goodness, what time is it in New Zealand? Welcome in, Rooster. We're glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Oh, this song is always too quiet. 3:02 a.m. That's not morning. That's night, my friend. You're still in yesterday, my dude. or tomorrow. You're still in tomorrow, if that makes any sense. You're breaking the quantum understanding of time that we have right now. Holy moly. Well, thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. You get to partake in our double Jeopardy of today. So I'm going to read off the Jeopardy question. You don't have to answer in a question. We're very loosey-goosey with these Jeopardy rules. But the first person to say the answer, well, I guess the question to this answer, gets double these points. So, double these points. $400 is on the board. First person that I see to type in the answer is the one that gets 800 points since it's double Jeopardy. Okay, here is the prompt. Gwen Verdon said she helped dub in the tapping and splashing in the title number in this 1952 film. Gwen Verdon said she helped dub in the tapping and splashing in the title number in this 1952 film. H-Man, that is correct. It is Singin' in the Rain. H-Man is on the board with $800. You are brought up to a tie for second place with Wizened Lemur. Congratulations. Chats in the clap, please, for H-Man. Early morning brain time, but not as early as our New Zealand friend here. Not near as early. All right, folks, we're going to do the top 10 games of 2022, and then we are going to go directly into Outer Wilds from that so we can continue our journey in that epic adventure. I got to be real. I'm a little trepidatious because Outer Wilds really burned me out last time, and I want to enjoy this game. I don't want to be miserable the entire time I'm playing. So let's just hope for the best. I really do not like the flying. I really do not like the flying mechanic. I think it is just so bad. But we're just going to try. And it's not even that it's bad. I think it's intentionally obtuse because it's flying a literal spaceship, you know? Of course it's difficult. But it still frustrates me nonetheless. So for our top 10, the way that we normally do our top 10s is we do all of them over on Backlogged. The way I like to put them together is I will go through and add all the titles that I can find from the first 10 pages of Backlogged. And then I will show you guys what I come up with there. Then we'll whittle them down to the top 10. We'll rank them, we'll order them, and try to come up with the best games that released in the year chosen. The reason I don't show you guys until we get to the actual like list that I've accumulated is that I'm using Backlogged, which uses the video game database. And that's every video game that came out last year. And sometimes in those first 10 pages, we get some either some wordy dirties or some dirty images. So rather than break our family-friendly nature, we are going to just right away get that out of the way and just go through those first 10 pages. So I'm going to go through my games first. I'm not going to do any double titles. So like if a game like Scarlet and Violet, like I'm only going to choose one. So I'm not going to consider that taking up 2 slots. Okay, let's find our best ones. Gonna go ahead and get... Oh boy, this is really gonna be tough because last year was a great year for video games. Not that every year isn't a good year for video games, but last year was a really good year for video games. Like a really good year for video games. So this is gonna be a pretty awful list to try to come up with. But I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best to come up with my top 10 games. It's funny, as I'm going through, I'm literally like, that's a good game, but it's not gonna hold up. I'm gonna put it on the list anyway, but I know it's not gonna hold up. Loved the 2022 year in games. Yeah, it was excellent. It really was. It was a fantastic year. Guess what? I'm not even putting Stray on there. Just picked up Last of Us 1 and 2 to play on the PS5. Ooh. I'm assuming the remake. Kirby was pretty great, but is it worthy of the top 10? That's really tough. Hey, thanks for the lurk, Tsunami Gaming. Welcome in. I feel guilty not at least including Elden Ring and God of War, even though they're not my top 10. This list is incredibly subjective, by the way. This is my top 10 list. It's not like the top 10 list. It's just my personal thoughts on the matter. I do have to have played the game for it to be on the list, at least a little bit, or have watched the game. If I have not played it or watched it, then, man, I think that's cheating for The Last of Us to be considered. The Last of Us is not a game that came out last year. There were not enough changes in that game to make it a game that came out last year, in my humble opinion. In my humble opinion. Played the first one years ago, don't remember a lot of the games, so I'm excited to dive back in. Honestly, I might have my list because I would have logged the 2022 game if I'd played it, you know? We'll see if there are any in there that I just forgot. There was a Better Call Saul game? What? Oh, it was a fan game. Okay, I was about to say, are you kidding me? There's no way I missed that. All right. Wow. Yep. So glad for realsies. So very, very glad that I did not show you guys this screen. Because, hoo boy. Wordy dirds. Let's see. Megan is getting really good reviews. I thought that movie would bomb so hard. Dude, the dance scene feels so cringe. So I was in that same vein of like, there's no way this is actually going to be good. But apparently not too bad. But is it like ironic good, you know? Is it ironic good or is it actually good? That's the question. You think it has been 10 out of 10? The dance scene is so cringy. I can't handle it. Every single time I see it, I'm like, oh, well, cool, but that's a game I'm not going to play. Oh, neat. That's something I'll never do. That's all I can think of. Every single time I see it, I'm like, oh, cool. Don't like that. At least I know what to avoid. Okay, we're at page 4 already. I mean, it's definitely been eye-catching. It's hard to look away from that little doll dancing in a goofy little tune. Ooh, what's Battlewoods? Pokemon Battlewoods? Man, there are some interesting games that I just totally slept on. And that's marketing, right? Yep, just eye-catching. As long as it gets your attention, I guess so. There's a game just called Obama. What do you mean? Oh, I really wanted to play Card Shark. Yeah, that is on my wish list. Have I seen Avatar? No, and it's killing me inside. It's killing me inside. Although I gotta be real, I did not super enjoy the first one. I didn't hate the first Avatar by any means, but I definitely think it is overhyped. And so I feel like I'm entering into it with a grumpy disposition, and I'm worried that my grumpy disposition is going to make me not like the movie as much as I should. I'm not going to give it as much of a chance as I probably ought. This one is better than the first one? Well, that's encouraging. All right, we're on page 8. Page 9 is about to come up. That's how I went into it. I went in with a meh attitude. Yeah, I feel like I'm a little grumpy about it. But I want to see it. I wanted to write a nerdy sermon on it, but there's just no way. I just don't have the time. I just don't have the time to go see movies. Yikes. Man, am I glad. Man, am I glad that I do the way I do. Did Wordle not come out? No, it didn't. Okay. All right, let's see our list here. I've got our list. We only have 13 or 14 games to choose from. That's not too bad. I have a feeling this list is not going to surprise anyone. Liked Avatar 2. I agree that I liked it more than the first one. I feel like this one had a decent / better story, even if it's still predictable at some points. Predictability doesn't bother me. What bothered me for Avatar was less about the movie and more about the fan base. The fan base got so toxic of like saying this is the greatest movie ever made and this is the greatest thing that exists and we should all be thankful to be living in the same timeline where this movie exists. And I was like, dudes, it's all right. It's all right, homies. Let's not get too excited now. Okay, here is our top 10 list of the fine year of 2022. So these are the top 10 games as I see them. Does not necessarily mean they are the top 10 games, just means they are my top 10. We're going to arrange these 13 games into a top 10 order, drop the bottom 4, give them an honorable mention, and see where we go from there. Okay. I was annoyed with James Cameron's comment, and that's why I was. Yeah, I have not been a fan of James Cameron. I've not been a fan of what's his name? Mob Boss guy. He makes all the mob movies. Oh, why can't I remember his name? Martin Scorsese. That's it. Martin Scorsese. Yeah, you did butcher his name. I was like Caesar. I thought you were saying a Pokemon, my dude. Yeah, Scorsese. Scorsese and Cameron have kind of irritated me in the past couple years. I don't even like Marvel movies that much, but it irritates me so badly how these directors are trying to, like, I don't know, do these weird, like, elitist moves. Okay. Top 10 games. Out of these 14 games, let's see what should be at the very, very top. It's going to be tricky. I played a lot of great games this year. This is really only a small handful of them. And these are the best of the best. And honestly, I want to put them all at the top. God of War for me, Citizen Sleeper for you. Citizen Sleeper was so good. It's got to be at least in the top 3. I'm going to bump it up to the top 3 at the very least. I think I liked Arceus more than Scarlet, so I'm going to try and put that above Scarlet. Just trying to like rank them in order of things that I enjoyed. I'm going to take Tunic off the list. I can go ahead and remove that one. I can give it an honorable because I know it's not going to be in the top 10. I can take Endling. Very powerful story, but the gameplay was not good enough. Anything else I can take off? All of these could compete at this point. You've really enjoyed it? I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. It was like, it was a game. It was a truly life-changing game for me. Kirby can go? I don't know. Kirby was really good, dude. I still really want to try Neon White. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Fun, but nothing crazy. See, that's actually how I feel about God of War, too, though. And, well, not really Elden Ring. Elden Ring was, and Xenoblade. Xenoblade, Kirby, God of War. I think that all 3 of these were pretty safe. They were safe games that knew what they were doing and did exactly what they needed to do to get by. Excellent games. 3 excellent games that were about as safe as you could be. Neon White was a risk. Norco, a risk. Sonic, a risk. Scarlet and Arceus, risks. Pentiment, risk. Citizen Sleeper, risk. Like, I like risky games. I like games that could just as easily fail as succeed. No chance. Absolutely no shot was God of War going to be a failure. No shot was Xenoblade going to be a failure. No shot was Kirby. That's kind of how I feel about it. Okay. So yeah, these 3 like lumped together as like safe games. And that's where I'm kind of weird about them. I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed Pentiment. I finished it last night. Exceptional. Truly exceptional. But I don't know if I can say better than Arceus because Arceus was just so important to me. I think I'm going to go with Arceus next. This really is like the hardest list I can imagine. God of War was the only game to make me shed tears this year, though. The writing. Yes, the writing is exceptional, but again, safe. Like, we've had this history of God of War. You have the writing that, like, even if it was good writing, it was still very much like, I felt like I knew. I know that, like, there were some twists and turns. Don't get me wrong. There were twists and turns. But, like, I knew what was going to happen going into the game. And maybe that's just me. Have you played Tiny Tina? I haven't played Tiny Tina. I really have no love for the Borderlands series in general, really. Isn't Tiny Tina Borderlands? I have no, like, affiliation. And Splash, I want to pull up your list right after we get done, because I haven't pulled up your list to make sure that I didn't get any bias coming into this. Need to play Plague Tale? Yep, it probably would be. It probably would be up there for me if I'd played it. It's on the docket. It's on the list. Okay, I'm confident with our first two. The question is Pentiment next? I think it might be. Pentiment is definitely better than Norco. But Norco is really good. But Pentiment is definitely better. Was Pentiment better than Scarlet? That's a tough question. Honestly, these three are like tied for third. They're like tied for third. I probably enjoyed Neon White than the next. Is Pentiment an Xbox exclusive? It is. It might even be... No, there's no way. You can definitely buy it, can't you? Surely. I think it's Xbox exclusive. Let's look it up. Yep, I think it is. So it is on PC. I mean, it's on PC Game Pass. So I guess if you download Xbox Game Pass, you could buy it through the Xbox Store. Need to as well. I briefly played the first one and need to play it in the sequel. Yeah, one of these days I'll get into it. Sneaky loves it too much for me not to play it. Okay, this is getting really tough. Citizen Sleeper is better than Arceus, but just barely. Really, the gameplay in Arceus makes me want to put it in first, but Citizen Sleeper just blew my mind this year. It was a sleeper. It was so unexpected that I couldn't not love it. Pentiment was probably better than Scarlet, or right there at it. These two were definitely better than Neon White, but Neon White was exceptional. Neon White was better than Sonic Frontiers. It was. It had to have been. Sonic Frontiers was better than Norco? I think so. Norco was better than God of War? Probably not. Was Sonic better than God of War? Probably not. Was Sonic better than Norco? I already said that. Was Norco better than Xenoblade? Probably not. That's tough. Was Norco better than Kirby? Definitely. Was Kirby better than Elden Ring? I don't think I can say that legally. I think legally I'm required not to say that. Was Kirby better than Cult of the Lamb? I think so. We're going to keep Cult of the Lamb out. Bye, Cult of the Lamb. You were fun. You were a good game. Thank you for causing controversy. Controversy. Okay. So, let's go back to the list. Was Elden Ring better than Kirby? I feel like we got it. It's got to be, right? It's got to be. We'll take Kirby and the Forgotten Land off. That makes me sad. It was good. It was game of the year. I can't not make it better than Kirby. Here's the thing with Elden Ring though, is that I stand by my thought that Elden Ring's narrative is absolutely awful. It's non-existent. The argument of it's the narrative that you build yourself is lazy, and the fact that they touted George R.R. Martin at the top of their lungs and are like, this is the George R.R. Martin game, and I was like, dude, where, man? So I don't know. I stand by my. I think that there are better Souls-likes out there. I think there are better games. I don't know. The narrative just didn't do it for me. That Elden Ring didn't have a narrative exactly. And so I'm such a narrative gamer that I could not get into Elden Ring any more than I did. It was fun for the walls. It was fun for the memes. It was a good time, but like, it was gorgeous. It was an absolutely gorgeous game. But I just can't give it. I can't give it too much love. It's gotta stay on the bottom at the very least. Okay, let's go through again. I told the AI to retell the birth of Jesus in the voice of a Gen Z person. It has me laughing. I'm crying so hard. That sounds amazing. You guys, I am loving I am loving ChatGPT today. I'm having so much fun with it. So love that you're also enjoying it, Stained. Okay, let's go through the list and see if we still agree with it. Citizen Sleeper, better than Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think so. Arceus better than Pentiment? Definitely. Pentiment better than Scarlet? It's very close, but sure. Scarlet better than Neon White? Unequivocally. Neon White better than God of War? Yes. God of War better than Sonic? Yes. Sonic better than Xenoblade? Those two are honestly pretty neck and neck. Those two are pretty neck and neck. Yeah, I agree with Sneaky. Please post that. I'm loving it because it can write AP World History notes for me. I hadn't even thought about notes. Holy moly, that's so nice. Because you could just write down everything the professor like says that you hear that you think is important in like paragraph form, and then you could send it to ChatGPT and be like, accumulate this into bulleted notes for me to study. That's so good. That's so cool. Oh man, I love technology. Okay, where were we? Xenoblade better than Norco? Yes. Norco better than Elden Ring? I think so. I think it was braver than Elden Ring. I don't know, dude. That's really scary. This is a scary list, but this is my list. The top 10 games of 2022. Your top 3 runners are Citizen Sleeper, Legends Arceus, and Pentiment. I want to point out to you that number 1 and number 3 have very little gameplay. They are practically visual novels, and if that ain't me, then I don't know what is, because this is a Nathan list. This is a Nerd Pastor Nate list if you've ever seen one. We've got 1, 2, 3 games. We got 3 games that are visual novels on here. That's how you do a subjective top 10 list. And then you got a Nintendo and a Nintendo and a Nintendo. You got 3 Nintendos in here, so this is a Nerd Pastor Nate list if there's ever been one. But this is my top 10 games of 2022 according to Nerd Pastor Nate. Let's pull up Splash's. Splash always likes to post his top 10 list and makes me feel bad about mine. So we're gonna read through the best games of 2022 according to Splash. All right, this is Splash's list here. Top 10 games of 2022 is Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. I didn't even consider that one in the top 10. Very good though. Very good. Very good. Horizon Forbidden West. I got to play the Horizon series eventually. I'm sure it would be up there somewhere if I did. God of War Ragnarok, Sonic Frontiers. I'd love to see Sonic up that high. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Like I said, just no love for Borderlands. Splatoon 3. What happened with Splatoon 3? I feel like nobody talked about it. I don't know. Elden Ring. Love it. Bayonetta 3. Another one that kind of like breezed by. And then Last of Us Part 1. I would put that one in the top 10, but I'm not including it because it's already come out. I just can't. I can't with a good conscience put Last of Us in my top 10 for 2022 whenever it was just a... I know they added some things and changed some things and they made the experience better. They made it feel a little bit more like Part 2. They made Joel feel a little bit more rugged, and I get that, and that's great. That's fine. I can't do it with a good conscience. And then Live Alive or Live Alive, I want to play. That's perpetually on my wish list. I'm going to play it. It's gonna happen. I don't know when. So that's where we're going. So here we go. That's Splash's list. Here's my top 10 list. Top 10 games 2022. I am so thankful for those of you that stuck around to watch it. If you want, folks, in the chat, go ahead and say hello to YouTube because this will be posted to YouTube. Folks, this is my top 10 games list of 2022. I know this is very subjective. If you agree with me, great. If you don't, that's also great. I want to hear that you didn't agree with me because I think that's super fun. So be sure to leave down in the comments down below what your top 3 would have been, or even better, go find me on Backlog, leave a comment down there below. Let me know your thoughts on what your top 10 list, or even share your backlog. If you want to do that, I'll add you as a friend on there. Whatever works best for you. Folks, we believe 3 things to be true about every single one of you watching this video. We believe that number 1, God loves you. Number 2, we love you. We want community with you. And number 3, we believe that you, yes, you matter. You are a person of sacred worth. The world is a better place. Why? Because you are in it. Folks, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like these top 10 lists, be sure to let us know by clicking that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Okay. All right. We back. Let's go back to chat mode for a second, and then we'll get in Outer Wilds once I catch up with the chat here. I know we're talking about AI here. Downside of the AI is that students are using it to write papers and turn them in already. Universities are scrambling to figure out how to catch it. This is why we can't have nice things. Splatoon 3 is great. I want to know more about Splatoon 3. I have it, I think. Didn't I get it? Do I have it? I feel like I have it. I would have abused AI in college so hard if it was around when I was in school. I would have too. I put Last of Us in my top 10 because it was the first time I played it. Well, there you go. That is the one check. I get it. I give you permission. If you need it, a stamp of approval. I put, let's see. Hello, YouTube. Hello, tubers. What's up? Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Very fun. I have a lot of mixed feelings about the AI. As far as what I've discovered in the AI so far is that you really have to be very specific with what you provide it with. And so I would be like, I don't know. Papers are almost becoming outdated as a like model of education with this. Kind of like mathematics, right? Like we've discovered that you don't really need most of mathematics, right? There's no need for something because they used to say you couldn't have a calculator in your pocket, but now we all do. And so math teachers now are like scrambling to figure out like, hey, why would somebody need to take pre-calc anymore? And I think that what I'm learning is like, even still, you need to know the fundamentals of math, right? You need to at least understand what to put in and how to create the formulas. And so I think we will see a really interesting shift in education when it comes to writing, that we need to know the fundamentals of the information to feed to create the proper formula by which to create the work, to prove that we know the thing. Like if you don't know the question, I've thought about it forever. It'll happen eventually. I thought about doing it for April Fools. It'll happen. It'll happen for sure. But that's a good point. That's a great point, H-Man. There are two things I could do, right? Number one, I could feed it a sermon and say, write a sermon in this tone and style based off of Avatar 2. Well, it couldn't do that because it stops in 2021. Write a sermon in this style based off of the Sonic the Hedgehog 1996 movie, and then I could post it in the thing. It would read my text and then recreate the sermon for me, and I could read that. Odds are it would not be incredible. It would probably be a little bland, maybe even a little vanilla. I could even continue to innovate it and say, hey, figure out other ways to do this. But here's a better way to use ChatGPT in a way to still provide me with the creative gene that I'm wanting. And I could say, create or brainstorm additional prompts and ideas based around the movie Sonic the Hedgehog from 1996. Like create, using this sermon and the aesthetic within it, create other writing prompts for it. And then I could use that as a brainstorming technique with which I can then create a sermon based off of it. That's the way that I think it could be creatively used. But I don't know. Using it to come up with content ideas is a huge help. It is. Or even using it to come up with titles. Like I never intend to write a YouTube title again. I never intend to write a YouTube title ever again. I'm just going to say, come up with a YouTube title about this that happened in this video. It's going to already have SEO built into it. And you could even say, like you could provide it with the keywords. You could download TubeBuddy, come up with the keywords, put in the keywords to ChatGPT, say, come up with a title around this YouTube, or come up with a YouTube video title that with a focus on search engine optimization using the following keywords based around the following video topic, and it could come up with it. And it would limit it to that 100 characters. What's the website again? ChatGPT, I think. /AI or whatever it's called. chat.openai.com/chat. It's brilliant. For instance, our tweet that tweeted out this video was a ChatGPT tweet. At capacity right now. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be continued to use, and eventually it's going to go for sale. And that's when the game really changes. Once it goes on sale, that's when things change. So it also wrote our go live notification. I asked it for a joke. I asked it for a pun using the video game Outer Wilds. It wrote a pun for us. I had it rewrite our question of the day in a more easy to read format. I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast with it. I think it's so fun. So I'm interested. What I'm really wanting to do is I'm wanting to take it through the ringer and figure out what actually helps me and what doesn't help me in my job here at Checkpoint. Like, what can it provide me with to make my job easier? So that I can focus my time on the more important stuff of actually building relationships and reaching out and getting new people into the fold. What can I do to take the mental load off of the digital side of things to focus more on the relationships that are actually being built? I'm intrigued. I'm on board. I'm so curious, and I'm very excited for the future of what technology has in store for us. But that's plenty about that. We need to get into Outer Wilds. So we're going to get right into it. I did have to buy this game, which is kind of a bummer. Of course, I waited until the very bitter end of its life cycle on Game Pass before I started playing it. Good morning! Just a little spark. How we doing? Welcome to the stream. You just missed our top 10 list, but we're here for Outer Wilds, so that's the more important part, of course. How's your Thursday morning treating you? Hopefully good. I have also used it to scan my sermons and build social media posts based off of my own work. Ooh, I hadn't thought about that. That's fun. Like, give it a sermon and say, like, draw out the best quotes. But how could I don't know, man. How could it know? Highlight engaging quotes from this text. I'm curious. Good, just finished cooking breakfast. Oh, a cooked breakfast sounds great right now, although I actually really don't like breakfast food that much. But, I already am surprised. I'm in a state of constant surprise with AI. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm here for it. I'm very respectful to it. I've always been respectful as well to assistants, because the robot uprising, whenever it happens, they're gonna know that I'm kind. It was a kale pepper bake. Interesting. I had the finest gourmand Pop-Tart this morning. Yep, you got to thank Alexa. You got to thank your Google Assistant. Yeah, I was very surprised. So for those of you that follow Marquez Brownlee on YouTube, he always does his like ranking of the best assistant of the year, and his best assistant this year was Google, and he just went in on Alexa, saying that it was such a nightmare and it didn't work. Or no, yeah, Alexa was the worst. Siri was the next worst. Bixby has had a big improvement this year, and Google Assistant is the best. And so he went through them, and I was like, man, you better be careful. You better be careful telling Alexa she's not good, because one day, dude, one day, speaking of the movie Megan, right? AI. I have Bixby on my phone, but haven't really used it. I turned Bixby off almost immediately. I've had a Samsung forever, and I got Bixby whenever it first launched, and it was a nightmare. And everybody knew it was a nightmare the first year. The second year, it got a little better, and I think this year, or last year, 2022, was the third year, and apparently it was better. But I'm already so used to Google at this point that I just don't even bother. All right, let's play some Outer Wilds, yeah? We can talk about AI while we play video games, can't we? Let's turn off spoofies. Everybody say, bye, spoofy. Bye, spoofy. Outer Wilds is the category. We are good to go. Let's get into it. Let's get right. But that sounds delicious, just a little spark. Much better than my Pop-Tart. My favorite breakfasts are the ones that aren't actually breakfasts. Folks, as usual, let me know if it is too loud, too quiet, anything in between. We're going to continue our journey into Outer Wilds. I think the last place we were is we discovered the inside of the plant thing. We found the guy. But I don't really know what that means. I don't know if I was done there, if I'd already, like, satisfied the requirements for it. Awesome Games Done Quick kicks off Sunday. Love this game. H-Man, I'm really more into it this time than I was last time, but I gotta be real. The spaceship piloting is the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. Okay. Yeah, so the Bramble Seed. Surely I'm done with the Bramble Seed. Can I be done with it? I never want to go back there, actually. But I'm worried I might not be done. Good. It doesn't say there's anything else to discover there, so I think I'm... Good. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Love it. All right, so maybe I'm done with the Dark Bramble Seed. That would be nice. I need to play Outer Wilds. A friend's been recommending it to me, but I haven't gotten there. It was so the reason I'm playing it is because Jate was like, it's the best game I've maybe ever played. And I was like, well, now I've got to play it. Like, you can't say it's the best game you've ever played and I not play it. Do the colors mean anything? Is the fact that these are gray and those are green and these are orange and those are purple, does that mean anything? It has to. Red? It has to mean something, but what? But what? What does it mean? What could it mean? I assume I super missed Jeopardy. You did, Zando. I'm so sorry. H-Man took it home. H-Man took it home. It was double Jeopardy, too. You really missed out. You really missed out. Where do I want to go? Where have I not explored? Okay, it clearly wants me to go to Ember Twin for some reason. What's up with that? I can't see the Quantum Moon, right? There are still places that I haven't even seen, so maybe I ought to just try to go there, yeah? I'd rather not ever go back to the Dark Bramble. I've been to the Addle Rock. I've been to the Twins. Been to the Sun Station. Not been here. Let's, why not? Can I ping it? No? No? Okay. I'd love to land on the Sun Station, but it doesn't want me to. So, you know, that's just where we are at this point. Okay. You are here. Oh, that is lava, huh? Okay. That's just lava. Lava, Mrs. Mama. We'll try. We'll see if we can land there. See if we can find a spot to land. With my control of this ship, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say, probably not. Probably not. Don't really know what there is to explore. Nope. Is there anything worth exploring on here? I'll do your movie game after the next death, Zando. Don't let me forget. No, I don't think you can land here. Oh, well. Heyo! Whoa, I was not that close to this planet. Was I? I reckon I was. Okay. Okay. Alright. Whoa. This looks new. Ah! Landing. Okay. Alright. That was exciting. It's just a mechanic to shoot rocks at the other planet. Ooh. Okay. Alright. I probably should repair my ship. Whoa! What else was broken on it? Okay, that's fine. We'll be alright. See if I can remember how to play. I'm pretty sure this was how I liked it. Yep, that was it. So this is where I started exploring, and I'd like to go back in there, but I don't think last time I noticed this. Possible that I did, but I don't think so. The trees are moving. The trees in the... Oh, yes, I have. I've definitely read this. Yep, I've read that. Okay. I wish they stayed red, but I mean, I guess you're time traveling, so, like, whatever. I went from this game to No Man's Sky. I can imagine they would be very interesting from one to the next. That would be a good way of doing it. I've not been up there. Whoa! Too far. Plume, Felix, and I have determined this atypical shard of rock is the reason objects in this grove are behaving in a quantum manner. The only other object we've observed displaying this quantum behavior is the wandering moon. I imagine the moon's behavior and this grove are related. In her note from earlier, Felix mentions this strange type of rock isn't found elsewhere on Brittle Hollow. What if it isn't originally from this planet? Hypothesis. This quantum shard is from the wandering quantum moon. Perhaps it's even a small piece of the moon itself. Of note, a unique signal is coming from this shard. Curiously, our friend in the wandering moon sounds the sting. I've also heard the same signal this shard produces calling out from Giant's Deep, Timber Hearth, and the Hourglass Twins. Suppose there are other shards like this one. Curious. Okay. What's the signal? Cool. So am I able to then, like, resource this? Can I, like, use it to find the signal in other areas? Okay. All right, we're going to explore back down here again. This is where we started exploring last time, and we've died almost every time we've gone down here, so maybe this will be the one. Maybe this will be the one. But I doubt it, I doubt it, I doubt it. I don't know if I've ever gone up here. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. All right, but I'm here for it. Unexpected. Whoa. This place is kind of wild. Let's read this first. I don't think there's anything to walk on there. I guess I could rocket myself up into that thing? Maybe. I don't know if I want to rocket myself out or up. Be welcome in this place. Above you stands the Tower of Quantum Knowledge. If you are making your first pilgrimage to the Quantum Moon, ascend these stairs and obtain the last of the knowledge you need for your journey. Oh, yeah? I mean, I wouldn't mind going to the Quantum Moon, but I also wouldn't mind learning what this is. What's going on here. I could kind of go either way. I guess we'll go this way for now, since at least we know where this is headed. So hope I have enough fuel for it. Yep, kind of figured. Man, am I going to be able to make that jump? Nope. Nope. How do I make that jump? That's so far. So much for that plan. Oh, is it sending, not receiving? I see. Okay. I hope this is the right way. Yo-yo. Music? Music? From whomst? Aha. What are you doing here? Hey, buddy. Hey, Rybic? Oh, you launched. That's great. Great job, you. Wow. I guess that means I've been out here a while, huh? Well, this is Brittle Hollow, but you probably knew that. It's one of the few games I didn't finish last year. What's up, Love Thy Nerd? I'm assuming Luke? Lots of history here. It's great. What are you doing here? I'm here to see the Hanging City. It's always been my dream to see it with my own 4 eyes ever since I was a hatchling. An alien race lived in the solar system long before our species even existed. How could I not want to see what their civilization was like? Also, this is Luke. Yeah, what's up, Luke? How we doing? Only... You've probably heard the others say it, right? I'm afraid of space. Seriously. I'm more surprised than anybody that I'm out here. Do you know how I got even this far? I fell. Tripped over a gravity crystal. It's dumb luck I landed somewhere my little scout says is halfway stable, instead of being sucked into what's below. I've been gauging the stability of the ground around me using my little scout. This seems to be the place with the best surface integrity, so I'm going to stay here until I'm ready to move on. But that's enough about me and my problems. You didn't come all this way to listen to me blather, did you? That'd be, yeah. I learned something! Oh, cool! What is it? I found the Nomai escape pod on Brittle Hollow. Wow, so then the Nomai probably came here from somewhere outside the solar system, and they must have been in trouble when they launched their escape pod. But what kind of trouble? And where did the escape pod launch from? I'm so curious! This is an amazing discovery. I hope we can find out more about how and why the Nomai arrived here. I learned something else. I found the sun in the city. You mean there's another Nomai city inside of Ember Twin? That's incredible! A whole city, and I had no idea it existed. This is great. How'd they keep the sand out? If it were me, I'd be nervous about getting buried in the caves by the awful river of sand. Gosh, Nomai sure were ingenious, building an entire settlement underground. The Sunless City. Wow. That means there were two groups of Nomai, one that lived on Ember Twin and one that lived here on Brittle Hollow. But they must have traveled around the solar system, since Nomai writing can be found on other planets too. Where should I explore? Oh wow! Where shouldn't you explore here? Not the black hole, actually. That's very new. Which is unfortunate, because the most exciting stuff is all below the crust, including the Hanging City. That's just to the north. You can kind of see it from here. There's also this giant dome on the South Pole called the Southern Observatory. You can't get inside from the surface, trust me, I've tried. But if it's like the rest of the Nomai structures here, there's probably a path to it beneath the crust somewhere. Good luck with exploring. If you learn anything about the Nomai, I'd love to hear it, if it's not too much trouble. What are you doing out here? Me, an archaeologist. Remember, I'm the archaeologist, I guess, seeing as I'm all Timberhurst got right now. Brittle Hollow is rich with Nomai history. That's why I'm here. This planet is an absolute treasure trove of culture, history, and science. If you have any questions about the Brittle Hollow Nomai, I'm your Hearthian. I have some knowledge of them, I mean, so maybe I can help. Okay, how do you like it so far? I hate the flying mechanic. The flying mechanic is awful. I'm in for the mystery now. I'm officially on board with the mystery. It did take just a little bit. It's kind of a slow burn to like actually care. But now that I'm in it to win it. I'm going to see this game through to the end. I do have to admit that I have some mixed feelings about it. I think it's good. I think it's good. But the flying mechanic, there's literally nothing. Like if I were to stop playing this game, that would be why. Rejecting me. Okay. Oops. So sorry. Just knocked down his Karn. I didn't mean to knock down your Karn. Okay, here we go. This is fine. I'm fine. This is fine. I'm fine. This is fine. Wait, is that where I just came from? No. I thought I was going deeper. Deeper. Oh, man. I want to get there. See, I should have gone up. Because there's definitely something there. Yo! Alright. That's fine. We're fine. Xando, do not let me forget your movies Gachapon and your 1 minute mystery trivia. I'm going to do it whenever I die. If that's aight with you. If it's not aight with you, then we can make it work otherwise. Come here. Is there another? There is another route. Definitely going to let you forget. Don't do it! Okay, that just turns it off. I'm beginning to understand the mechanisms, and that's kind of fun. What? I enjoyed this game to an extent, but I got to the point many hours in where I just didn't know what to do next, and since you don't get any real direction from the game, I just never returned. I'm 4 hours in. I'm 4 hours in at this point. I'm curious to know how far in you were whenever you called it quits. Frost. Maybe I can jump up there? That feels pretty high. I don't know, dude. That feels pretty high up. Hey, yo! Okay! Whoa! Whoa! No! What's going on? That wall does not look like a walkie wall. Oh, it's these crystals. Oh! Did I know they could do that? Did anybody ever tell me they could do that? Have I known this the entire time? I have not. What? That would have been nice to have known the entire time. It's this. I've seen this before. What? I'm so intrigued. Well, then I could just walk up that too. Why did no one tell me this? Where's the signal coming from? I didn't see it. It's Gabbro. An unknown signal right below me. We'll try and get there. Is this the way I took before? I think I made this leap one time and I did not survive. Frost, how are explorations going in the future of Love Thy Nerd? When are y'all making an announcement about what the future looks like? I'm super excited for you guys. Oh, I see. Wasn't this bridge complete earlier? Do I just have to get here in time? Is that what it is? Because I definitely seem to recall this existed before. And I don't think I can make the jump here, because I've tried it before. I have a meeting with Matt today, so hopefully soon. Super fun. I'm excited. We love Thy Nerd. Zando, if you're still here, if you would exclamation point SO Love Thy Nerd, we want to shout him out whenever you guys are able to be back in biz. If you're not here, then I will do it. I'll do it. Thank you, Zando. Oh, Perry, I didn't even know you were here. What's up, Perry? I would have asked you too. Okay, well, this is definitely somewhere I haven't been before, so this is fun. Just lurking for a few until the work stuff starts. I hear it. I hear it. Whoa, trees detected. Nice. I love trees. Oh. Oh. I know where I am. Yes. I know where I am. Oh, well, how fun is that? Neato. Okay. I feel ya. Well, isn't that fun? Ow. Man, now I almost kind of like want the data. Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Oopsie doopsie. Oopsie doopsie. Oh, dear. Well, the day's ending. Okay. Okay. I was tempted to make a goof and put Love Thy Nerds, but decided to be mature. All right, here's your gachapon, Zando. It is the fire badge. Oh, I forgot that actually doesn't kill me. I thought it. I definitely thought it killed me. Shoot. Oh, absolutely. You're very welcome for the shout out. Of course. Of course, of course. All right, and then you've got, of course, a movie game and a trivia. Did you say trivia? I assume you said trivia. Because ain't nobody want to do the mystery. Including myself. All right, the trivia for today. Trivia for today is, what was the name of Captain Nemo's submarine? What was the name of Captain Nemo's submarine? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh, I just keep going, don't I? I was so distracted. Yeah, it was the Nautilus. Congratulations, Queenslayer. Okay, all right, up. Thank you. Whoop. No! I would have never known that. So kudos to y'all for actually knowing. Get in there. Get in there. You goofy goo. Get in. No. Get in the hole. Get in there. Case in point, Frost, I hate the flying. Thank you. It is the Nautilus. Okay, your movie game prompt is... the death of a wealthy patriarch plunges his backstabbing next of kin into a dangerous game of whodunit at a snowy ski resort frequented by the snowboarding Galifianakis. The death of a wealthy patriarch plunges his backstabbing next of kin into a dangerous game of whodunit at a snowy ski resort frequented by a snowboarding Galifianakis. It is Knives Out Cold. Chats in the clap. We love it. Congratulations to Zando. Wonderful work. All right, now we've caught up. We've caught up with the chat commands here, and we're going to explore. Welcome back. Welcome back, Mr. Wayne. Whoop. Okay. I can't remember if I need to do something or if I just wait. I do have to activate it, don't I? Why am I so weird? Okay, activate it. Come here. Come here. Thank you. Thank you. And now we wait. Okay, we did it. Good job, everybody. Congratulations, us, for surviving another day. Now, of course, despite the fact that we have survived, there's still a lot of questions that we have. And a lot of places left to explore. Have I been up here? This looks like a place I would have explored. Yeah, I've definitely been here. But over there. Been over there. What? How? I did not jump that hard. Has this part of the planet always been frozen? I haven't discovered the signal yet. Yeah. I guess I never received it. But I've definitely been here before. I've been to the escape pod. Trying to think of anything else I can explore with the little amount of time that I have left. We're towards the end of our journey. Ow. I guess I could always just rocket towards my ship. No real purpose. I bet there's a button, and I bet Alice in the Palace would know. Oh, that might actually be a good question too for Frost, if you're still here. Love Thy Nerd Peep may have a good answer to our question. Well, isn't that inconvenient? Well. Oh, isn't that an inconvenience? To say the least, dude. Oh, whoopsie. Sorry. The question was, do you have any helpful analytics or research or data or anything to provide to someone wanting to prove that podcasts are worth a church's time? Love Thy Nerd has a lot of podcasts, so I would love to know if you have any information to provide as far as like the efficacy, the like actual functionality and outreach to using podcasts for ministry. Yeah, I figure y'all have got to have some information with how many podcasts you guys have and how successful they are, and there's got to be something. Not sure why I didn't think to ask him that. Oh, I didn't think to ask him either until just now. Just because Frost was in the chat, reminded me of it. I guess I could try to, like, fall. I could try to fall down there, but I'm almost out of fuel. There's got to be a way to just reset the day, right? Other than flinging myself into nothingness. Or maybe that's the only way. Yeah, there ain't no way. Ain't no way. What's up, Wandering Knight? How we doing? Welcome in. See how close we are now. We're still so far. Okay, Zando's explaining the sitch. What's up, the Space Hawk? How we doing? Welcome back. We just discovered that I can cross that bridge if I get here at a better time, and so I'm gonna try to get to Brittle Hollow first next time and go for it again. Right now I'm trying to see if I can stumble into it, and I'm doubting it's possible. But it doesn't mean it's not, it just means I'm doubting it. Uh-oh, the music! Oh no, the music! It looks like even if we will make it, even if we will make it, we won't be there long. Oh no! Well, we'll try our best. We'll keep on trucking. I got nothing better to do. It's really hard to find where it is. I'll say that. I'm closer every time, but I'm never close enough. Wow, that's mind-boggling, huh? I just got here perfectly in time to not make it. So here comes the heat death of the universe. And I died! What are the odds, dude? What are the odds? Love it. All right, Brittle Hollow, here we come. Brittle Hollow, here we come. Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. That was a long day. We did a lot that time. We did a lot that time, a whole lot. Off we go. Whoop. Should I label it maybe? Ah, the shard. Ooh. Yeah, I found a ton last time, huh? What I need to remember is where that is. Can I look in the map? I think I can. No. I want to find where I just was, but I want to get there immediately. I don't want to, like, waste time. Eh. We'll just go for it. I should be able to spy it out pretty quickly. Where are you, Brittle Hollow? Did I not? Okay. Gonna try to get there quick enough to cross the bridge. That's gonna be my goal for today. Just gotta find the entrance. I'm pretty sure it was at the North Pole. Oh, please don't hit the moon. 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 Goodness gracious, buddy. I mean, are you trying? Are you trying to get your demise, buddy? Because it looks like you're trying. I gotta find the right spot. Oh, wait, but I could go in at that landing spot, couldn't I? Because I could have gone down in the hole. I wonder if that's the answer. Or an answer, anyway. No! 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 I don't want to land! No! I'm not interested in landing. Stop it. Stop it, you silly silly. No. No, I do not. No. I do not. You goofy, goofy game. You're the goofiest game ever. New boot goofing. Goodness gracious. Yes, yes. That is where I would like to land. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Could have been easier. Could have been easier, but it's fine. Please leave me alone. All right. Into the breach. Finally started God of War 18 last night. I maybe started on too hard of a difficulty for going in fresh, but I'm enjoying it so far. Just beat that for the first time at the end of last month. Yes, Frost, I appreciated your take on it because so often my hot takes on God of War are not appreciated. So I was relieved to hear that I'm not the only one that isn't a super fan. Whoa, what is that? Is that another pathway? You keep your God of War blasphemy off this planet, off this channel. That's off this planet. I took it even further. I took it to the next level, my dude. You got a lot of hate for my take. Hey, you know what? The best takes normally do. The best takes normally do get hate. The hottest of the hot takes. It's not even that it's a bad game. It's not even that it's a bad game. Truth is hard to hear. That's it. It's good, not great. Yep, I agree. I would even say the truth is that it's just it's more niche than we give it credit for. It's very much it's like the word that I keep using for some reason is vanilla. I think it's a safe game. I think it's very safe, very vanilla, very bland. Oh wait, no, I'm trying to leave. Oopsie. No, I don't want to be here. I do not want to be here. Hang on. I was trying to go to the bridge. I thought that was where I was. But it wasn't. There's the bridge. That's one. Give me a break. I tried to land softly. Okay, I'm pretty sure this way is safe. I honestly think it's crazy that the majority of gamers like that type of game. Yep. Well, nobody likes my kind of game, so welcome to my world. I chose the hyper niche genre. The only game that I get behind that everybody gets behind is Pokemon, and people get behind it to hate it. It's been a fun ride with you. I think it's time for me to find a new home. Asia just started a game I think you'd like called Melatonin. I want to play Melatonin so bad. It's been on my backlog forever. I love that kind of game. I love a rhythm game. I love the vibes of that game. Yes. It has been on my backlog. It is on our list of games that once the Checkpoint people let me play it, it's going to be played. What is this, you think? Black Hole Forge District, Eye Shrine District, Meltwater District, School District. Stop. Stop. What? What have I discovered? You weren't a fan of Tunic? It wasn't that I wasn't a fan, I just got bored of it, but I really want to get back into it. I'm gonna play more Tunic. The Ash Twin project requires a powerful, highly advanced warp core. How should we obtain it? Give me that scroll. Give me that scroll. Why is everything falling around me? Oh, wait, what? They're all saying the same thing? No! Oh, I just got here! Another scroll. I see. I see. I understand the puzzle. Let me solve. I'd like to solve, Alex. Nope. If only I could find the door, I could solve the puzzles. I got bored with God of War, but I suffered through it because everyone told me it got better. We could retrieve the warp core from the vessel. That would require a return to Dark Bramble. Plume, my father, said many good Nomai perished there. My mentor Coleus and his old mentor once discovered and studied an anglerfish fossil on Ember Twin. Using that knowledge, we could avoid the anglerfish entirely. What Melray and I learned from that fossil could theoretically help us evade the anglerfish, but our hypothesis was never tested on a live specimen. The vessel's warp core is broken, and at best, recall those present when the vessel crashed, said it sustained lethal injuries. There is no guaranteed reward for this risk. Perhaps we could still repair it. My grandmother told me there was little time to assess the nature of extent of the damage. Even if it no longer functions, the old core could be a valuable blueprint, provided we're able to transport it back here. Y'all are just killing Stained. They can like what they like. That's the best part of Vigi games. I remember the anglerfish fossil we used to play in Fossil Fish Cave when we were children. Oh, I'm discovering things. I'm learning. The final scroll. Solution 2. We could craft a new advanced warp core inspired by the vessel's warp core. The greatest challenge here, I think, is we don't have the design for such a powerful core or any of the original crafters of the vessel's core. No, but Poke was apprenticed to a Nona who created the original design, and our Black Hole Forge is adept at crafting simpler cores. I believe I can be of use here. The vessel's warp core is created before my time, but Anona explained many of his designs to me. Abandoning the vessel's warp core and its casing means losing valuable knowledge. This is true, however, it's knowledge we have little hope of recovering. It would be best to relearn, I think. I would very much like to craft such a powerful core. More relevantly, I believe the Black Hole Forge crew and I could recreate the basic design. This is the safest path for our clan. Is the safest the best? Our goal is worth the risk. Is it though? We've tried for so long to find something that I and others now believe might be impossible to find. If the search for the eye is a futile one, we could choose the option with the least potential for harm. Fascinating, fascinating information. I need to know more. 2018 had some killer games like God of War, Spider-Man, Red Dead 2, Smash Bros. Ultimate, the list goes on. Every year is a great year for gaming. I feel strange trying to recreate Anona's warp core without him. At times, it still feels strange to no longer be his very young apprentice and for the Black Hole Forge to be in my care and not his. Hypothesis. This will always feel strange, even though my time with him was short. I miss my old mentor and deeply. I have the chance to try. To have the chance to try is thrilling, but I don't want to disappoint everyone. I think I can do this, probably. But what if excitement has clouded my assessment for my own abilities? Was I wrong in volunteering to build it? I was born in the star system, but never saw a known as warp core with my own 3 eyes. I only knew what he taught me. What if I've bitten off a larger portion than I can consume? Still, all I can give is my best, and as Anona would say, should my best prove insufficient, then we shall find another way to achieve what's needed. I have Clarion Root in the Forge, and I have my clan. I am not alone. It took me a couple of starts and stops before I finally began to enjoy God of War 2018. I did absolutely enjoy God of War Ragnarok from the very start. I think if you've got the experience, it's going to be a great time. I think it was a wonderful addition to the game. It was a true blue sequel in the sense that you really enjoyed it What just happened to me? I'm wet! I'm wet and I'm hysterical! I'm hysterical and I'm wet! The producers, anybody? Any fans of the producers? Nothing? Yeah. The story for God of War is absolutely top tier. Everything else was an average game to me. It gets me excited for the possible God of War, Amazon God of War series. I am nervous about that, but I hope so. I would like to see it be a success. Wait a second. Is this getting me out? Is this another entrance? I just keep discovering things over and over. So the bridge isn't that necessary. I can still get here from other ways. So fascinating. Okay. Now the question is where next? I feel like I've adequately explored that area. What's down here? Oh. Interesting. Can I step on this? The forge controls. Ooh. Well, Heidi-ho there, neighbor. How do you suppose I get up there? Okay. Okay. I wish I could mark locations on the map permanently. Is that a thing? Does anybody play this game and know if that's a thing? Because that's something I would very much like to do. Let's see. The story is what does it for me. The gameplay is okay. I enjoy it if the story... But if the story stuck, I would not play it. The story is really good, though, in my opinion. That's why I like it so much. The story is great. And the acting is incredible. It sets a new bar for voice acting. I got nothing but love, but I did very much appreciate that someone else was not like head over heels for it. That's the only reason I called out Frost. Oh. Just because I seek validation. Absolutely. Don't we all? Don't we all? That's what it's all about. Boo! You're also an affirmation seeker. See, I don't all these places to teleport to, and I don't know if I need to teleport to them or not. Makes planning a digital church hard. Not a lot of affirmation there. Agreed. So, is it right at the door, or can I slip through? For some reason, I don't think I can. I think I've got to jump over it. So it's clear on the other side as long as I can make it. Yacht! Do I want to go up or down? Game, dude. Ooh. Where? I don't see any ghost matter. You're making me nervous, but I don't see any. Explanation of festivals. All the Nomai clans from all over the universe meet in one place to share what they've learned in science and art. It's called the festival. At some festivals, one clan's big discovery can mean all the Nomai get to advance too, like a known as Warp Core, which made it so everyone can warp long distances and explore more. Each clan has a festival envoy to show their most interesting work. Our envoy was Thatch. A single festival could last a long, long time. We can't go because we're stuck here, but Felix says we used to go, too. Don't forget, festivals happen every 10 years. I see. Formation of this universe. No one knows how this universe was made, but one thing we do know is everything used to be very hot and very dense, tightly packed together. As this early universe expanded, it's also cooled down. Once it had cooled down enough, particles were able to group together to form things like galaxies, stars, and planets. Since then, space has continued to expand at a faster and faster rate, which is hard to think about too long without hurting your brain. This universe will keep getting colder and larger until one day the stars and the life they support will all die. That's scary to think about. Even though Kanoi tells me it won't happen in our lifetimes, but it'll happen in someone else's someday. I think it's ours right now, so yeah. You right. Why am I here? Is that all that they have for me here? Just a quick little lesson? Quick little space lesson? I need to get back to Ragnarok and finish some side content, but I have Cyberpunk and Pentiment. Well, Pentiment is much shorter than Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk, you're in for the long haul. $16 hours in on just Watson. Yep. They know how to take your time. Oh. I see. Ooh. I feel like I'm running out of time. And there's so much to explore! And you have The Witcher and World of Warcraft. I feel like The Witcher is just never going to get played by me because it's just too long. It's simply too long. I don't have time. I've just got to accept that. It is simply time for me to accept that I do not have time for The Witcher. I was already here. Man, I don't know where to go next. I can climb that wall. Why? Why can I climb you? Well, my ship is gone. My ship is gone. It does have a great gameplay loop, though, which makes it worth it, but I get it. Not enough time. I'll play it eventually, I'm sure. Now that I have it on Steam Deck, it's definitely even more viable. This is definitely a weird pathway. Whoa. This is spooky. No kidding. Well then, I guess I gotta do this earlier in the game. Okay, that's fine. Tell me about Steam Deck. Sell me on it so I know what to ask Santa for. Well, I'll ask you this. I mean, do you enjoy playing games in your bed? If you are a person that likes playing video games in your bed and you like the portability of the Switch, then you need to get yourself a Steam Deck because it allows you that many more video games to play with. I love my Switch. My Switch is incredible, but there are games the Switch simply cannot play. And so the Steam Deck is the experience of playing the games you wish you could play on your Switch. All Steam games? Sort of. Here's the thing, 99.9% of Steam games are playable. They're gonna tell you that they're not, but the reason that they're not playable is because they require a trackpad every now and again. The trackpad is built in, and it's really not that bad. And you can also, the other reason is that the text is sometimes too small. But if you have eyeballs that you can see with, you're probably fine. The text may be tiny, but you can just put on your readers. That wasn't even an old joke thing. That was just genuinely saying you could put on your readers. I haven't run into any performance issues yet, but I also have a ton of retro stuff. I played Cyberpunk. I finished Cyberpunk on the Steam Deck. No problems. None. Zero problems. I played Sonic Frontiers. It was maybe a little laggy, but once I looked up, I literally just Googled like best performance settings for Sonic, and I found it, and it worked great. Which Sonic is a pretty demanding game, so I was surprised. I have yet to find any shortcomings. Ooh, that looks interesting. How do I get to such a place? I want to go to there. Being able to load it with ROM/ROM hacks that I normally to be tethered to my PC to play has been a real game changer. Absolutely. I think my big holdback is that I do not have a big Steam library, and that is mostly because I had a MacBook as my primary laptop. Yeah, there's a reason that Mac people aren't normally gamers. Oh, no! Music! Stay away! I just discovered something cool! What is the eye of the universe? No! The eye is the source of the signal that brought us here. Suppose the eye is a more advanced being. The eye is older than the universe, so imagine how much it could teach us. Wait, I've read this before. Being welcomed in this place, the shrine is a space to reflect on what the star system has brought us the signal from the eye. We observe the eye signals in our travels and followed it here to find its source. What we know is this: the source of the signal, which we have chosen to call the eye of the universe, is older than the universe itself. The rest we have yet to learn. Enter and open your mind to its possibilities. We gotta go so fast. How can the eye be older than the universe itself? Suppose it is a relic from the previous universe. The universe was unimaginably hot and dense. Anything existed before, it would have been destroyed. Suppose the universe is older than previously assumed. What is the eye signal? Suppose the eye wishes to communicate. The signal is the eye's voice. It doesn't speak a language we don't yet know. Or maybe the signal is the eye's attempt to express itself. From the signal, we are able to determine the eye's approximate age or perhaps its lack of age. The signal is a call. Were we the intended audience? I've done this before. Why, how have I been here before? Amassing a Steam Deck library is fairly simple, especially with how often stuff goes on sale. Yep. Also, just literally have a Humble Bundle. Just do Humble Bundles if you do Humble Choice, and you will quickly amass. No, I no longer believe that I was a child on the Ember Twin, that the eye of the universe wishes to harm us. It may not be found either. In fact, the eye may not have wishes at all. We have no evidence supporting this. The terrible circumstances of our arrival here were almost certainly in that circumstance. I suspect imagining we are special to the eye in some way is wishful thinking. The eye might have called out to any sentient beings. Or might have been calling it at all, and the ancestors heard the eye signal holds no great deep meaning. This shouldn't be so bad, I think. Goodbye, years. Goodbye, universe. Whew, that was an eventful one. Again, you can load it with non-Steam stuff as well. I love the Steam Deck. I think it's an exceptional piece of equipment. Honestly, it really does depend on if you want to play portable or not. I think if you're just fine going up to your computer and playing games in your like game room or wherever you've got it set up, then I don't think you need a Steam Deck. If you want to play games from wherever, from the bed, from the couch, watching TV, you know, whatever, like then it's really nice. But that's really the only circumstance that I can think of. It is a true competitor to the Switch, even if it is not the Switch killer. Man, that was a lot. Only 2 blocks? Only 2 blocks for all that I just did. All right, I want to go explore that upside down place. So I got to find out how to get there. So we're going back to the whatever. I did boot camp Windows 10 onto my MacBook though. Boot camp, man. Oh, you Apple people. I don't miss it one bit. Heyo! Good morning! What are you thinking? What were you thinking? What were you thinking? You goofy, goofy, goofy. Okay. Well, I guess I'm here now. I can't be getting into more games. I have no time. I hear that. I guess I've never really taken the time to explore my own planet, except for that seed. You can play all versions of WoW on it. Okay, that's where I discovered the seed, right? Say more. Do say more. Yeah, that's the seed thing. Let's go to the other pole. And all this exploring of space, never even taking the time to visit my own planet. Like a geyser. Geronimo! Mining site? Retail Classic and Classic World of the LK work on Steam Deck, and you can hook a keyboard and mouse up to it if you prefer those controls, not to mention being able to plug it into a TV so you can take WoW with you wherever you go. Hotels! You're telling me they were also on my planet and we just never knew this? Oh, give me a break. Oh, give me a break. Give me an actual break, dude. I didn't need to know this. Now you've been convinced, it sounds like. Zando knew how to convince you and was successful. And we succeeded. Ooh. A scroll, you say. I'm still amazed by how much ore the Ash Twin project requires. Isn't this the ore for the remaining towers being built on Ash Twin? The completed towers I've seen are quite large. No, the material for those towers is all being taken from Ash Twin. The ore we're mining here will be used to craft an immensely thick protective shell that will physically seal off the chamber inside Ash Twin's core. If they're sealing off all the entrances, I hope they've planned accordingly. I thought you forbidden your apprentice from making plans, Coleus. How else could he improve? I'm relieved by our clan's decision to use Timberhurst ore only for constructing the shell. If potentially life on this planet were to evolve to the point of advanced metallurgy, I'm confident we won't have destroyed their ability to create. What's this way, I wonder? You. What? You're kidding me. Every time I've moved back in time? Every time I've done it, it's been because of the core on that other planet? Are you yoking me right now? This is blowing my mind. My gratitude for the latest shipment, Oeno. This ore should be the last we'll need for the Ash Twin project. When we finish the shell that seals off the central chamber, we'll check to ensure there are no longer any physical entrances. Raimi and I will be checking the interior and then the exterior for cracks for final safety check. This is exciting news. Can I offer an extra set of eyes for this final check, specifically mine? If my work here is done, I'd be delighted to help. We'd be grateful if you would. The more eyes, the better, as the smallest flaw or opening in the shell that protects the Ash Twin project could lead to disaster. What, dude? Hey, thank you for following, old man. Appreciate you. Welcome, welcome. We're glad you're here. So what's down there? Ooh. Ooh, what are you? Can I make that jump? I can try. Ooh, well, lucky me. No, no. Not lucky me. Unlucky me. Started as a lucky me. Turned into a not quite as lucky me. All right, this is fine. We're fine, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine. I want to go through that light. There was a light. There was definitely a light. And I want to know more. I'm going to try to get around the water. I'm going to go the other way. I haven't yet figured out how to get around the water, and I don't have a lot of fuel, but I gotta figure it out. There's got to be a way. Homie, homie, homie! Ooh! Okay, cool, good. Ooh. Phew. All right, what is this? This is what I saw from a distance. From a distance. Okay. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I really need some fuel, though. Really gonna need some fuel, though. So have we addressed that this exists? I can't help but notice that nobody on my planet happened to mention this whole thing exists. I really do not have a lot of fuel here. Am I out? Was that it? Oh. Well, this is another teleporter. To where? It's not active. How do I activate it? I know it's critical. Do I have to wait for something to align? Do I have to activate it? Huh. I don't know. Oh, this game. This game is just filled with questions, huh? One question after another. Certainly was a happy accident that I crash landed on my own planet. Well, that's a moon. But I really need rocket fuel. The lack of rocket fuel is going to be my undoing here. Ow. A shard. Oh. Another happy accident, huh? How did I just happen upon that, you think? Another one? It's always dark. Okay. Okay. Well, what do I... Ooh. That feels like an ominous little, like... Into the breach! Ha 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 ha! So long, me Bowsy! Uh-oh. Oops. That. So that's what I'm seeing. And it's on Ember Twin or whatever. Remember when I lost 40k channel points because of your spray tan? I do remember that. Did you just die? I did. I did. I got geysered up into space and fell back down. And died. He died in bed. Okay. Now we're going to go back to Bramble. Not Bramble. We're going to go back to the whatever. You hating this game or deciding you're liking it a little now? I like the game. I hate the flying mechanic. Hate it. The only reason that I just explored all the stuff I did was because I autopiloted into my own planet. But again, I think it's all on purpose. And that's somewhat better, but not a lot. Brittle Hollow, please. Brittle Hollow, please. Thank you. But yeah, I definitely do enjoy the actual game. I'm in it. I'm curious. I'm engaged. I want to know the mystery. I have not had anything spoiled for me. It's curious. It's weird. The exploration even feels pretty good. There are definitely some irritating aspects, but for the most part, it feels really good. It works really good. I have no qualms until I do have a qualm. This is one. There was a qualm. Did you see it? That was a qualm. I just want to autopilot to a stinking planet one time. I disengaged autopilot almost immediately, but it didn't matter. So how much is a Steam Deck? Very expensive, Stained. They're very expensive. They're actually kind of silly. I got the most expensive one. And probably should. I liked having the size naturally in it. I liked having the hardest working one. And so if you want the most you can possibly get out of it, the biggest one, but the storage, the expandable storage is pretty easy. It depends on how willing you are to actually like put in work to the thing. If you're willing to put in work, you can basically have the big one by buying the middle one and upgrading it a little bit. Where is it? Let's try again. But yeah. Flying in this game is bad, and it feels bad too. I don't enjoy myself whenever I'm flying. I can't wait for the part whenever I get out of my ship. There's a great example. Boom. I need to disengage because look, I'm about to crash land on my own planet. It's so annoying. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. It's not an enjoyable experience. It takes me infinitely longer to get to the place that I want to go because of the fact that flying is so difficult. And so right now, it's kind of the big argument of why people don't like Sonic games anymore. Because Sonic games are meant to be fast, right? You're meant to experience speed of a Sonic variety. And whenever a Sonic game is bad, it is because of the fact that the Sonic game has stolen your momentum and made you slow down. And so that's like, objectively, if the point of Sonic is to go fast and they make you go slow, that's bad. That's bad writing, right? This game slows me down awfully because of the difficulty of flying. I want to solve the mystery. But I can't because I keep crash landing into planets. Because I can't remember what control does what. Thankfully, I don't care about my ship. And if it wants to go and be a baby and get destroyed, then I'm just going to let it. Now, I don't remember where I am, nor do I remember where the entrance is. It would be nice if I could mark places on a map. Because now, this is more precious time that I really need to be exploring that I can't because I've got to find where I need to go. Found it. So I've wasted fuel, I've wasted time trying to find this spot on the map that all I wanted to do was get to it. The mystery, excellent. The exploration, really fun, compelling, engaging, curious stuff. The actual ability of you to do the exploring thing to get to point A to point B so that you can get the job done and play the game, bad. Bad. And that's how I feel about that. Nope, wrong way. Hopefully, the place that I want to go has not been destroyed. But honestly, I would not be too surprised if it has. It makes me sad because I'm pretty sure that no matter how good of an ending this game has, I don't think I'll be able to, in good conscience, give it better than an 8 out of 10. I could be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to be proven wrong and for the story to just be the most incredible thing that I've ever experienced and it be mind-blowing of a game. But just being honest with myself, I just don't see this being better than an 8 out of 10 game because of how difficult it is to do certain things. The reason that I'm conflicted to give it that score is that I think that it's intentional, and so I want to reward them for their clever difficulty. But I just can't because it lessens my experience of the game. I gotta figure out how to get up there. I don't actually remember which way it was. I'm worried by the time I get there it's gonna be too late. And I still need to figure out why I moved the forge up. What that actually did. I'm pretty sure it was up here. Oh, but I'm not 100% sure. Man, I hope I'm right. Come on. I don't think I'm right. Sugar! I don't think I'm right. I'm pretty sure this is just another exit. Rats. And where was it? I don't have time to not remember. I should have written it down or something. Now I'm having to backtrack. That's it. There it is. There it is. There it is. Cool. All right. Hey, thank you for following, Kanoa. Welcome in. We're glad you're here. How'd you find us? Are you a big Outer Wilds fan? Whoop. Yo-yo. Okay. All right. This is what I want to know. Where does this go? Please, 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 please. Don't let the path be broken. I beg you. I beg you, do not let the path be broken. Please. Please. This is not looking good. Oh, please don't let the path be broken. It doesn't look broken. Okay, 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 go, 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 go. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I'm just gonna watch it crumble before my eyes. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Go, go, go. Go. Fly, you fools. Oh, please pick the right path. Oh, please. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. Please, 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 please. Yes! We did it! All right, what's here? Given concerns about our settlement's stability, where should we construct a new, less temporary shelter? We need to stay close to the escape pod so Felix can monitor incoming messages. We can't be rescued if we aren't present to respond. I don't believe anyone is coming to save us, Thatch. Now we must save ourselves. I agree. We're here because the Eye's signal called to us and we followed. If we're to find it, we need to not merely survive, but thrive. This is a wise point, Plume, and eloquently made. If moving to the northern glacier will keep us safer, then that is what we should do. I believe we should migrate to the northern glacier. What if we use gravity crystals to craft a stable path? I believe we should migrate to the northern glacier. Building beneath the crust again would shelter us from the volcanic move's eruption. I'm beginning to theorize that perhaps these people could also travel through time. That is beginning to become my theory. But that's just a theory. A game theory. What is this? This knowledge is too dear to lose. Here is everything we can recall about the signal we encountered while aboard the vessel. The signal is older than the universe itself. This is the most significant detail. The no my clan has ever encountered anything like it. How can anything in this universe be older than the universe itself? Imagine what a rare and profound knowledge it might offer. We must find this eye of the universe. The signal looked like an eye, round with a circle at the center with much like a pupil. Suppose the signal was looking for something. Okay. Man, there's a lot to explore. There's a lot to explore. Okay. I haven't ever played Outer Wilds, actually. Found you searching the Christian tag. Been lurking for a few minutes before deciding to follow. Well, welcome in. We are Checkpoint Church. We're really a church. I'm Nerd Pastor Newt. I'm actually a pastor in this community. We planted back in 2020. Hey, thanks for the follow, Abacus. Welcome in. Is the hardest part of this tragedy not knowing who we may have lost, or will the hardest part come later when we learn? Be well, Aunt Melora. So yeah, we're on Twitch like 4 to 5 days a week, but where we're definitely the most active is over on our Discord channel, our server, ! Discord. That's where we are pretty much every single day of the week, all the time, 24/7, posting questions of the day, talking about cool stuff, all that good thing. And then we also have our YouTube channel, ! YouTube, where we post nerdy sermons. We actually write sermons each week based around nerdy trending topics and things like that. And so that's every Sunday at 10 o'clock Eastern in the morning. What is this glowing cube of wonders? ! YouTube to pull up that, by the way. What is happening? This is blowing my mind. All right. So that's the globe. The bramble seed ate the globe and spat the globe out? What does this mean? I can't understand. Why did the vessel crash in that place? We warped to follow that curious signal from the eye of the universe. When we arrived, where we arrived was wrong. It wasn't where we tried to go. Was the vessel unwell? No. Anona and I checked for the warp, and the warp core and navigation systems were both well. Suppose it wasn't a problem with the vessel, but with our destination. I'm afraid for our friends in Escape Pod 3. I'm so confused. But yes, feel free to ask any questions or anything that you might have, Kana. I'm always an open book, happy to answer and talk about any fun kind of stuff. Oh, this is so weird. We can hear the other escape pods distress signals, which give me hope. Folly, are you still here? I'm unsure how to survive in this place without you. I'm unsure how to be me without you. Oh, that's kind of sweet. Oh no, am I here for no reason? No, there's still more here, potentially. Okay. Okay. Oh no! Discord's invalid. It sure shouldn't be. Let me see. You know what? I bet here's what I have to do. Hang on, let me try this real quick. Ba, 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 ba. We are fully boosted, but I have to go reset our link. Every time we lose our link, it messes up everything. But where is that? I know it exists. Ah! It's on, okay. Subbed on YouTube. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Can I exit streamer mode real fast? Boom jams. All right. You should be good now, Kanoa. The Discord link should work if you click it again now. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. There's so much here. So little time to explore. I just can't miss. Oh, I've been here. Was there anything else over here? I honestly don't know where I've been and where I have. Oh! The pain of your absence is sharp and haunting, and I would give anything not to know it. Anything but never knowing you at all, which would be worse. I can only hope that you are safe, Keek, wherever you are. So it sounds like they got stranded here. Why? Entered right here. Did I check over here? I think I did. My running theory remains. Can I get up there? I stand by my theory that I think that they... No! No! Anything but this! Man! I was just getting to the good part! I have so many more questions. No, no! Where's my ship? My ship is here? I thought the hull was breached. I can't lock onto it. Okay, I think I go here. Default. Yes. There's a chance. There's a chance I can make it. I'm in the Discord. Good. Well, welcome in. Like I said, I'm an open book. Feel free to ask any questions about things that we have going on at Checkpoint. Oh, no. What's up, Emo? How we doing? Welcome to the stream. Man. I can't believe I didn't get to explore it all the way. Been better, been worse. And you know what? Sometimes we gotta take those lukewarm days. No, don't use oxygen. I'm dead. Okay, well, I died. Unless by some miracle. It really will be a miracle. It's a miracle. Wow, dude. It looks like I've got to prepare this place before I'll be able to use it. I believe in miracles. Did I do it? Come on. Give me a break. I don't think it really even matters. The sun's going to explode any minute. I think all that's left is the front. No, 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 no! You stay. You stay. That was kind of beat up, doesn't it? An 8 out of 10 game. An 8 out of 10 game. I refuse. I can rate it now, dude. I don't even care. This story could be the most mind-blowing story I've ever experienced. An 8 out of 10. Don't you ask for a dime out of me. No, all good. Thanks for the lurk. We'll see you soon. Oh my gosh. I don't have my rocket booster. Allow me to say it again, please. An 8 out of 10. I can't get up there when I'm a rocket boost. Wasn't this leaving Game Pass? Yeah, for a good reason. It's bad. Oh boy. If I overshoot it even a little. I hate this game. It's a bad game. It's a bad game. Nothing's going to compare to hitting the sun one. Nothing's going to compare. Okay. Back in we go. I'm sure there was still more to explore in the Upside Down world, so I probably better go finish before I forget. Before I forget that, I will agree them before I can stand. I will remember before I forget. That part has to be a highlight on this channel. I'm serious. Yeah, we do need to exclamation point clip it, one of our peeps. Well, we're already past that moment, I'm afraid. But that was pretty amazing. Not sure we'll ever do anything quite so dumb again. It doesn't really matter. Even getting the moment, I can go back and find the full clip. The sun thing or the pastor singing Slipknot? Hey, I was singing Guitar Hero. That's the only place I know that from. Not in my Christian Minecraft server. Go! We playing games here? Just circling around each other? That's me. Stop. Stop. Like, actually stop. Stop what you're doing. What was I to do? What button was I to press? Landing mode did not engage. I swear this game, dude. This game, dude. It just makes me want to say all the words. Where is it? Where is it? Why can't I find it? Okay, there's that. Not too far from here. Where is the entrance? Alright, up into space since I can't find it. Need to get a little bit more of a bird's eye view. Nope. Nope. I really do wish you could ping things on a planet. Like, I wish I could set, like, flags, you know? Is that it? There it is. Nope. Not it. Where is it? I just cannot find it. Where is the entrance? I'm off to lunch dinner. Enjoy your dinner. What is down? Which button is down? There it stinking is. Go down. Go down. Get me out of here. Oh, one of these days, remind me somebody to set a timer. And let's just find out how long it takes me to get to the place that I want to get to. Lurk, gotta go start a test. No, Sneaky, don't make them hit. What was that, you think? What was that sound, you think? What was that? That was a weird one. All right, I'm really on a time crunch this time. I'm normally on a time crunch, but this time I'm really on a time crunch. Okay, the good news is that the second island still exists, so we're doing pretty well. That is indeed the good news. So see, I can skip all this stuff if I could find the hole in the snow, but to be quite honest, this game is so hard to play anyway that I don't know if I could ever find it. I'd spend so long trying to find the hole in the ground. Okay. Off we go. We got this, dude. We got this, dude. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I hit a button. Got to do some non-computer work before the kids get out of school. Have fun floating through the space of an 8 out of 10 game. I will. I will do just that. I still need to know what the forge is all about. So that upside down looks very similar to the landing pad thingy where we first, where we keep teleporting back to this planet. And so it makes me wonder if that's what that is. So maybe what I need to do is enable the forge, and then after I enable the forge, fall into the black hole, and then after I fall into the black hole, teleport back to that place, and that'll take me to where the forge is now open. So that might be what I do next. But first I gotta find out what else is over here. We're gonna go left. Because last time we went right, this time we're gonna go left. I hope for the best here. Hydrate, you got it. I'll get one ready in just a second. Today's flavor is wild cherry. Wild cherry hydration. Thank you very much. Welcome back, Kanoa. Okay. Off we go. We've only got 45 more minutes left on stream to explore. I think we'll be able to do this. I think we'll be able to try the forge thing, and then that'll probably be all we have time for. We'll see. That's my prediction. Ooh, I hope I have time. Pathway still looks clear. Please stay intact. Please stay intact. Please, 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 please. This time I'm gonna go left. Left, left, left. Whew, boy, the pressure's on. Folks, this will also be the last stream with our Christmas decorations, as Epiphany is this Sunday. So Christmas decorations are going down officially. Sad. I haven't gotten any new decorations, so I really don't know if we'll have anything extra on stream, but we'll see. Time will tell, won't it? This is not where I remember being. Oh dear. I remember not going this way, so maybe I should try this way. Of note, be sure not to wander far from here. Though this area is somewhat unstable, it's safer than any we've found so far. The temporary settlement is finished, but remember to be cautious of falling rocks and dust created by meteor impacts. Do say more. I'm hoping this is going to find me a shortcut. It's my hypothesis. I'm almost out of oxygen? I gotta find some trees. Heyo, 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 good morning, 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 no, 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 no! I refuse! Can I quit? Can I stop the game? Man, I don't want to do it all again. I don't want to. I don't want to do it again. I'm over it. Okay. Okay. I just want to be done. Maybe I'll just go do something else. Is there anything else to explore here, I wonder? Down. Down. Boost down. Into the hole. In. Okay, at least I got some oxygen. One. I don't even, the thing is that I don't want to be done. I want to experience the mystery, but the frustration of everything else won't let me. I do want to experience it. That's the whole crisis. So this is what I was talking about. I think the forge appears here. I think whenever we open it, the forge appears here. Maybe even right here. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe that is what becomes the forge. We just got to actually do it. But it's way past time now. I do not have the time to do it. Which is frustrating. Frustrating. It's very frustrating. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. That's frustrating. It's frustrating. Hang on. This looks familiar. Maybe this is what leads into the underground. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? I guess what better time to look for it, huh? I know it was in water, so this is a helpful path to follow. Go the other way. Could be a shortcut. I've so loosely followed your journey in this game that I'm of zero help. You're all right. I appreciate you even wanting to try, Zero. There's truly no help to be provided. Just kind of is what it is with this game. Okay, well that didn't help. I really thought there was going to be an entrance. I remember it being in a melting water source. But none of them were with them. I just have to find the right one. Maybe I can't see it move up. There it is. I was right. So the red pole. At the very least, I could enable the forge now. Even if I can't go explore the Phantom Zone thing. Badly as I want to. No, you have got to be joking. Gonna step away, stretch my legs. Gonna step away and stretch my legs. We're gonna stretch our legs. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stretch our legs. We are gonna stretch our legs. Yep, that's what we're doing. That is what we are doing. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're playing Outer Wilds, you guys. Isn't this fun? First time. First time playing it for today. First time playing it for today. We're going to just start, you know? I've been thinking about this game since the last time we played it. It's been so long. I just had this wild idea to try and do this forge thing. What's the forge, you ask? I have no idea. I got no clue. Just kind of making it up. Get out of here, pillow. Get out of here, pillow. Don't fall on me. All right, here we go. Get it again. Into the breach. Did I set a timer? I did not. Okay, Google, start a timer. Oh, never mind. That's not a timer. Okay, Google, start a stopwatch. Just gotta add probably like 20 seconds to it. I'm not having fun. I'm not enjoying myself right this second. I will once I do this silly forge thing. And we're gonna take our new super secret shortcut. And that's all I have to say about that. We're taking our super secret shortcut, and I don't care what anybody has to say about it. An impractical landing, to say the least. Unlurk, welcome back, Emo. It took me a minute and 13 seconds. So probably 2 minutes. That was definitely one of my better runs, though. Maybe I'm getting better at this game. Maybe it's a 9 out of 10. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Methinks not. Sure it was this one. Methinks not, dude. No shortcuts here. Shortcut who, buddy? Come on. We don't take any shortcuts in this world! We don't take any shortcuts here, okay? We don't believe in shortcuts, all right? We don't believe in it. We don't even believe in shortcuts. We're taking the long way. We're taking the long way. No shortcuts here. What? No shortcuts. Not us. Not happening. Dream on, buddy. I would never dare. Boy, this game. I sure hope my hypothesis proves. I can't tell which one Nate dislikes more, this or the Souls games. That's a tough question. I would say maybe this one, because I want to know what happens. This one actually has a compelling narrative that makes me want to keep playing, unlike the Souls games where I couldn't care less what happens, and so I just give up. And so I dislike this more because I like this game more. I just don't like the exploration element. Now we gotta find. Now we gotta find that other thing. I mean, honestly, the ship might be necessary. Homie? At the very least, it'll be nice to restock my fuel. There it is. Oh, it was so close. This was silly to even get in the spaceship. What? No. Do not buckle up. Unbuckle. John Unbuckle. And his feline friend. I really hope I'm right about this. I sure think I'm right. Thought I was right. So how do I get into the forge? There must be a reason. The forge doesn't rise up to the crust of the earth for no reason. Not there either. It doesn't make any sense. It rose right up into this thing. Doesn't make any sense. Why else would the forge rise into this thing if not for that exact reason? Back off. Man, I was so certain. Can't remember any other like standout locations that would have made more sense for it. Weird. How disappointing. I don't like when my logic doesn't add up. Maybe I need to make sure. I'm gonna make sure the forge actually took. Maybe I did something wrong. Do I have to activate the space station first? Maybe that's why I didn't do. No, it's up there. I don't know if I do want to hint or not, Perry. Kind of conflicted. There's a part of me that thinks not. Because I feel like I'm so close to solving it. Unless I'm like way off base. Yeah, dude, that was totally it. Well, it's not connected. Can I walk on that? That looks like somewhere I can walk, doesn't it? Oh, I see, it's broken. So now I skip over here and then continue to walk up. Maybe. Nope. That's definitely walkable floor up there. Waka. Walkable. Oh, man. Well, how do I get there? I gotta get to that walkable floor. Waka waka. No. It's too high to jump. Maybe not. Where was it? Which side of it? All side. Totally lost sight of it. Where is it? Feels like a likely match. Nope. What? I've lost it, dude. I've lost it. Where is it? Imagine I've been hard on Poke again. Then in turn means that I've made things difficult for her sister Clary. If Poke and I are oil and water, Clary is the emulsifier. She certainly makes up a better team than would mixing through shaking, although sometimes I would like to shake Poke. Jokes aside, suppose my own fear of never finding the eye prompted my argument with Poke. That would be immature of me. I should apologize, at least to Clary, and then to tell Poke. I don't let that be all. You're kidding. Man, where is it? I'm getting reckless. I'm getting reckless because I don't have a lot of time. How do I get up there? I don't see any candles. I doubt I can rocket that high. That's really high. What's up, Stephen Ridley? How we doing? Dude, I don't know. I don't know how to get there. There's got to be a way. Maybe I can get creative. Nope. It's got to be lit up. It's good to know, I guess. I was wrong. Ah, man, this is very frustrating to get this far and to not know how to get up there. Steven, we're playing a maddening game right now, my friend. The Black Hole Forge District. Yeah, that's where I gotta go. That's where I gotta go. That's where I gotta go. How do I get there? I know where I gotta go. I know where I got to go, but I do not know how to get there. Because it is destroyed. I've been over there. Heard of this game but never played. It is a solid 8 out of 10 from me right now. Jake told me to play it. I want to give it a 10 out of 10. Hopefully the story ends up resulting in the end, but I gotta be real. The flight mechanics and the actual mechanics of the gameplay are so bad that I cannot stomach a higher score. See, it doesn't even connect, dude. I'm absolutely barking up the wrong tree. I could connect right there, I guess. Nope. Bad. What? How? Ay. All right, we definitely need to reset the loop. We need to reset the loop and do another movie game for Steven here. All right, Steven, here is your prompt. Will you be there when a child frees an enslaved orca from inside a confectionery manufacturing plant where multiple children mysteriously disappeared? Will you be there when a child frees an enslaved orca from inside a confectionery manufacturing plant where multiple children mysteriously disappeared? What's up, Sneaky? Easy. Free Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Chats in the clap. Chats in the clap nonetheless. Easy or not. Congratulations. I don't know. Perry, maybe I'm going to get you to tell me. I don't want you to tell me. I want to figure it out for myself. But I don't know what else to do. I feel like I adequately explored that area. I don't know what to do. Maybe this gives me a hint. It's been a while since I've logged anything. No help. All right. Did you remember to Out of the Wild? That may have been where I messed up. I completely forgot. If I'd outed the wild, then there's a chance that could have been the missing factor. Let's find it. Where could it be? Where could it be? If only there were a tiny little arrow somewhere on my screen that would tell me where it was. But there isn't. That doesn't exist in this game because this game doesn't like you. And this game doesn't want you to play this game. This game doesn't want you to enjoy your experience. It wants you to have a bad time. This is the last run. This is the last run. The next time I die, I'm dead forever. For this stream. Because then we gotta hop off. Uno más. Uno más. While you guys are here, do you want to know the nerdy sermon for this upcoming Sunday? Do you want the spoiler? Spoiler for the nerdy sermon. The first nerdy sermon of season 4. If not, then mute your audio. Mute your audio for like 10 seconds because I'm about to say. All right. The nerdy sermon for this Sunday is, unsurprisingly, Pentiment. We are going to be talking about Pentiment. It's too good. It's too good for me not to talk about. I couldn't not at least mention it. Shocked face. I know, listen. I know it's surprising, okay? I know it's shocking, and nobody could have predicted this, surely. Surely nobody. But, you know. Landed a little hard. Landed just a little hard. I'm stuck. Oh, my Xbox turned off. I guess my batteries are dead? Not good timing. All right, let me go change the batteries real quick. Losing precious time. Now I'm curious as to how the scripture connects. Yes, Sneaky has the spoiler. Of what the scripture is too. And I will say this: it spoils 0% of the game. It is my pure intention is to entice you to play the game, so it has no spoilers. Where is it? Where is the thing? Show me the thing. Where is the ice? I was so close to it. I landed right next to it. Where is the ice? I don't see any ice anywhere near here, but I landed right next to it. There it is. I swear, you take one wrong turn and you're, uh-oh. I'm gonna lose my marbles. If I would have fallen in that hole, I might have uninstalled the game. I might have uninstalled the game if I'd fallen in that hole. That might have been it. That might have been the point that I was like, all right. That was nice, but we're done. And I would have just looked up somebody else beating the game. Okay. I guess if somebody wants to backseat game me and tell me how the Forge works, I don't know. I'm kind of out of ideas. The only other thing I know to do is to Enable the forge, go into the black hole, and turn on the spaceship. And then after I turn on the spaceship, see if that is what triggered the forge. That's the only other thing I know to do. There's a switch on your way down. No, I've turned on the switch. Is that what you mean? There's another switch in addition to the switch I've already done? There's 2 switches? Because I've already done one switch. Oh, I'm lost. What? How did I get lost? This, if it's this switch, then yes, I've already done this one, the one I'm about to do. So this switch, you trigger, boink, boink, and then the forge goes up. There it goes. And then it so logically goes up to that very notable thing, but there's no way to get there. The only other thing I know to do is to trigger the space station. So I guess that's what I'm going to do. I tried getting to it from the outside. I tried getting to it from the inside. The Ash Towers too. No! I refuse. I'm going to try the black hole theory first. I mean, I believe you. I might be dead. Oh no. The tower you need to reach the black hole forge is the 4th tower. It's a blocky structure. The door will open when you get there. Inside, use the gravity crystals on the right-hand wall to get to the room underneath. In the inverted room, read the Know My scroll in the wall, head back upstairs, and use the warp pad to reach the black hole forge. And this is on the Ash planet? Grabbing Starbucks. Enjoy your bucks. Now that won't be happening on today's stream. I haven't explored the ashes enough. Oh, man, it's gonna be so difficult to remember. It makes so much more sense for it to just be right here. It makes so much more sense for it to be right there. That is the logical, obvious conclusion. The fact that that isn't the answer is silly. The fact that instead it's some convoluted mess of doing a million different things to get somewhere is silly. Can I get back in there? No, no. 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 Yes, 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 yes. Go. All right, I gotta find my ship. Wait, what? Uh-oh. That's not good. Is that not my ship? Now I got a bad feeling. Oh, you're kidding. Now we just got to find the Ember Twin. You said, wait, you said Ash Twin or Ember Twin? Oh no, I can't remember. Ash Twin. Let's hope it's not full. Fourth tower? Come on. Come on. Oh, this awful game. Go! Go! Move! Do anything! I think it meant the tallest. That one's pretty tall. That one's pretty tall too. How am I supposed to land here? Just like this. Well, gee whiz, this looks like a pretty tall tower. Looks like not tall enough. Well, already done this, haven't I? Oh, there's another one. I doubt I have much time. Sun's looking pretty big. Cute. No. The sun is looking real big. Ah, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Land! Land! All the convoluted nightmares. Just show me! Show me what you want me to see! Some time has passed since I checked with you, Pi. How are you and the idea progressing with the Sun Station plans? Presently, my assessment is that our plan will either fail explosively or succeed explosively. Pi, you know I don't find that funny. How curious. Raimi thinks I'm a gas. I don't recall requesting that you monitor the conversation idea. I don't know. I don't see what the state of the matter you are has to do with this. And I don't recall supporting the Sun Station construction, but here we are. Hypothesis. Time spent away from the station could be beneficial for you both. I'm immensely interested in testing your hypothesis, Hero. Then at least we can agree on. That we can agree on. Well. Sand again. Almost out of fuel. Oh boy. Oh, don't fall. No, no. No, no. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I want to see what's on this scroll. Please just give me time to see what's on the scroll. Just that message, huh? Oh boy. What a waste of time. I'm out of fuel. It looks kind of blocky. As I'm watching the sun prepare to explode. After all this. After all this. Black Hole Forge. It's you. I remember you. Where am I taking the first black hole core, and where am I taking the remaining cores once they're ready? The white hole cores are the warp receivers. Each of the 6 receivers are being constructed at different locations, so those deliveries will be a greater pain in your cervical spine. All the warp towers are being constructed on Ash Twin, so the black hole cores will go there. My gratitude. In that case, Poke Clary, I'm leaving for delivery. I'll send Euro your regards. Poke, I'll return to the forge shortly. I'm going to catch up to the route and make him deliver the first core to Ash Twin just to make sure Euro receives it. Of course you are. Tower designs in the high energy lab on Amber Twin reveal each receiver's location. Ask Euro, he's familiar with them. Nope, 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 wrong. 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 I don't want to go there. Come on. Come on. Of note, Yara believes he spotted a flaw in the warp tower designs, namely that one of the warp towers on Ash Twin will never activate again because its warp receiver will never align overhead. Does your romantic interest think a warp tower's alignment point is in its receiver? Does he not know that a warp tower always aligns with the center of its corresponding astral body? This isn't an unreasonable belief, given the receiver does have to be located on the relevant astral body. No, Yero doesn't understand the distinction. He likely doesn't understand or realize that hourglass twins are so close together they function as a single astral body with a shared alignment point in between them. I seem to recall that was your understanding of warp technology at first. Regarding the warp towers on Ash Twin, does each power have to be perfectly aligned with the center of the astral body to which it's tuned? I enjoy precision as much as the next Nomai, but if, for example, a tower's base were to shift, and even slightly, that tower would no longer aligned with the astral body. More accurately, I enjoy precision as much as the next Nomai, provided the next Nomai is not poke. We don't need the alignment angle to be exact, it only needs to be within 5 degrees of the astral body's center. Of note, this gives us a slightly longer warp window. I imagine this window will last roughly several seconds. As such, any Nomai stepping onto a warp platform during the active window will be immediately warped. We need to be careful around the platform for the duration of the time it's active to avoid accidental transportation. Oh. Well, what do I do with you? I didn't even see a place to put a projection stone. I have good news, Yero. The advanced warp core is ready to be installed in the central chamber of Ash Twin. No, it isn't. I'm intrigued, love. Everyone here working with the Ash Twin project has decided to see it. Pi herself is beside herself with joy. Is everything well at the forge? The core's durability could still be improved. I need more time! I need more time! Don't worry, love. Peak is only Pokemon is nervous. The core is extraordinary and her design work is beautifully clever. Ignore her, Yero. The core is finished. If my sister tells you otherwise, then she'll be finished as well. Come on. What do you want to show me? What do you want to show me? Another one. 2 of them are active. 1, 2, 3. So do I need to activate all of these? Is that the point of the game? Maybe that's what I'm doing here. The whole point of this game is just to activate all those things. Is there anything we're seeing over here? Exit surface. You're kidding me. Can I clear this blockage here? I was right. Goodbye, cruel world. Until next time. Folks, we're Checkpoint Church. We're really a church. I'm Nerd Pastor Nate. I'm really the pastor here of this community. And this is our last stream of the week. We stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every other Friday here on the Checkpoint Church channel on our Twitch stream here. We also are on YouTube posting nerdy sermons every single Sunday. And most importantly, we are on Discord every single day of the week. If you want to know when we're streaming again, if you want to know what we're talking about during the week, if you want to hang out with us, get to know us, become a part of the community, all that's going to happen on Discord, ! Discord in the chat if you want to know anything about that. Folks, here at Checkpoint, we believe 3 things to be true about every single one of you out there, regardless whether or not you believe in God, don't believe in God, go to church, don't go to church, hate Christians, love Christians, any of those things, consider yourself a Christian, whatever it may be, wherever you may fall on that spectrum. We still believe these 3 things to be true about each and every one of you. Number 1, that God loves you, like really, really loves you. Number 2, we love you. We want community with you. That's what we're doing here. And number 3, we believe that you, yes, you, no matter who you are, you matter. You are a person of sacred worth. The world is a better place. Why? Because you are in it. Folks, with that, I'm going to go raid Just a Little Spark, since Just a Little Spark hung out with us a little bit earlier this morning. And thank you for hanging out with us. Outer Wilds remains to be just a resolute 8 out of 10. I'm enjoying the mystery. I plan on finishing it. I'm going to play this game. I'm going to see it through. But doggone if it is not just okay in some regards. So we'll see where the future takes us. I hope to see some of you over on the Discord right now, or to see you back on Monday. I think I'm streaming Monday. Yes, I think I'm streaming Monday. I think it's Martin Luther King Monday that I'm off. But I plan to see you all on Monday for another Poke Mondays. And until then, be well. Do me a favor. We do believe that everyone matters. If you would, please go spam our You Matter emote over in Just a Little Sparks channel. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.